most esteemed panelists. I am Sharat Kaviraj. I am DCP West in Jaipur city. I was only asked to come to this conference at about 7 o'clock in the evening. Before that, this organization had requested me to become a panelist here, and I said that the Rajasthan police is not going to spare me for that. I am very sorry. But when the letter came from the PHU, probably my name was picked up and I was sent here. I'm very thankful that they've given me an opportunity to speak right now as a panelist. I'd like to share a story, experience of mine, where I feel that very simple things which we did for Rajasthan police has benefited us tremendously. And I'll just like to go through the story very quickly. I was posted as SP in crime branch, and our DG instructed that there's a traditional thing that there's something called pendency of cases and it has to be brought down. It's a very traditional thing in policing, you may not be aware of it. But beyond a particular level, the pendency, if it goes up, there's an abhiyan or there's a kind of a concentrated effort to bring down the pendency. I was asked to monitor the pendency of the state. As an SP, I used to get my pendency every day at 5 o'clock at my residence. This happens across the country. All SPs of the country get their pendency reports at 5 o'clock in the morning. But when I started collecting the pendency report for Rajasthan, believe it or not, I would not get it for the next 3 days also. I would keep working on the data, and the data sent would be unreliable, would be untimely, and I was so frustrated at the end of the day that I said, all right, let me do something about it. I had certain friends in the IT department, and because of that background of mine, we started a very small project where we built some basic forms and we gave in a login to every police station. Very basic thing. We did not invest at all. Broadbands were already there. Maximum what we did was we asked the government to purchase a few dongles. And I'm telling you, few dongles means something 100 odd dongles. The moment we had those forms, all we did was ask them to fill the pendency, which they were sending as emails in any case. So it was already electronic data. And within 15-20 days of this project, I was getting pendency reports across Rajasthan on a daily basis. So this was a major success. The second thing the government asked us to do was that there is another very traditional area called abhiyan for standing warrants. There are standing warrants in police stations, and as they go up, there is always some kind of concentrated effort. When we started off, we had only figures that in Rajasthan at this moment of time there are 55,000 standing warrants. That's it. We did not know which areas these standing warrants belong to, or how many years they have been pending, or what kind of cases they have been pending. So we started off with a very simple idea that if every police station catches the standing warrantees living in their own area and they need not move out. So basically they do their own policing, and in the process if they catch standing warrants which are pending across the Rajasthan, there can be some very good results. With this very basic idea, we developed certain standing warrant forms to be developed, and the addresses were fed in such a manner that the concerned police station automatically came to know when they logged in that these are the standing warrants which were lying into their area of jurisdiction. Before that, the system was a manual system and the papers would come, but normally the police stations, and as the record keeping in police stations is right now, people really did not know. And the results were mind-blowing. In 2 months flat, we caught more number of standing warrants that were arrested in one last year. And at the end of the year, the numbers were such that it had crossed 5-year, 6-year figures of the previous years. So it was nothing but simply policemen were policing their own area. One simple IT application changed the whole game. Then we said that okay, the pendency figures, we are still not happy with it, because we really don't know whether the FIRs they are saying pendency of say X number of cases is pending. Which X cases we would not know. Like for standing warrants, we could drill down to the last person. One thing which I missed for standing warrants was we put all the standing warrants on the web. Right now, you can go to Rajasthan Police website and check for standing warrants. You check for the name, and they'll give you the standing warrants pending. Because of this transparency, many honorable, high and mighty people against whom standing warrants were pending, their names appeared in newspapers, and some of them were arrested and some of them had to dispose of their warrants. So this very simple thing of putting standing warrants on the web and telling the concerned SHO that these standing warrants are pending within your areas gave a very good result. Now I'll come down to security aspect and what IT can do for us. I was very fortunate to get involved in the CCTNS project also. I have certain, because right now I am a SP of a district and I am continuously in touch with very heinous crimes. I like to give only two examples right now. One was about 7 days back. There was a firing which took place in our area, and as we were lucky to catch that person with the help of public itself, and very quickly we came to know that the whole plan was hatched within jail premises. I was able to talk to the DG jail, and he was very prompt in having the search done, and a mobile phone was recovered from one of the most dreaded criminals in Rajasthan. As the investigations have been continuing, we have come to know that this person has been using the same phone number across 4 jails for last 2 years, and in the only last he has been for the last 1 year CDR analysis, the number of persons with whom he is in contact with are more than 300. Okay. Now we have no infrastructure, no TRI regulations which says that if you have a pattern where there is a jail and there's one static BTS which is coming and he is making calls all the time, while his original ID from which the phone was issued is of X place. Now that person never goes to X place. He continuously makes calls from a BTS which happens to be of jail. There is no trigger, there is no alarm, there is no system which tells the policeman that look, this may be a suspect number. Or there may be any number of phones which are being energized where the addresses are being given which are fake. There is no system in this country to check whether these addresses are correct or not. Some alternate mobile numbers are given. There is no system in which SMS is generated that your mobile number has been put in this form. For example, the banks do it. Now, when we are talking about security, there are 2 or 3 things in security which are very basic to any security setup. That is to identify the person, to identify his address, and to identify his finances. In all these areas, despite banks getting computerized, there will be a standing warranty who can open a bank account. Now this is not permissible. If you want secure country, then this integration has to take place. I will give you the other example of a very heinous offence. There have been continuous attempts at ATMs, as you would know, but last 15 days have seen successful attempts at ATMs, and the robbers were able to cut open the ATMs and were able to actually take away the cash. In my own area, they were not so successful, and the ATM caught fire and they had to run. Then they attempted the same thing in Ajmer in 3 places. In the 4th place, on the same day, it was a successful attempt and they took something 18 lakh rupees out of it. Another 3 days, Jodhpur was attempted and some 21 lakh rupees were taken out. We have been able to catch that gang purely because of some local policing and by the mobile tower locations, etc. Now, we do not know, we have no system by which these patterns can be analyzed. No police, no CCTNS, no systems right now exist in this country which can trigger intelligence related alarms. Here, when the ATM was attempted upon, the ATM got lost the connection from the server. But there was no mechanism by which the police could know that this ATM has stopped working. Go look for it. Similarly for power theft. There is a power grid. The power grid knows that this particular section of the line has tripped. But we won't know, and there is transmitter theft which is taking place. What I am emphasizing is that if you want a secure country, the policing and all the related integrated systems has to come to one platform. This is, I think, even as a vision, it is not being done. And CCTNS, for example, as and when it would come, I'm sure it will give the Aadhaar as far as police applications are concerned. And Aadhaar also, I feel, has this limited kind of view for security, where they say that we are not going to share the database, and we'll be only authenticating, we'll be saying yes, no. I think more of security awareness is required. And there's one last thing after which I would stop my talk here. One is that what we are doing right now is that I am asking all my beat constables and all my SHOs to get the CDRs of all the history sheeters and all the antisocial elements which we have made a database of, which is again web based, and I'll be asking them to feed in their names, which we are doing right now. Once we do that, we have a CDR analysis tool which we have built up. The numbers would get changed into names. So which means that when I analyze a CDR of a gangster or of a thief, and there's another CDR which or another database where it gets reflected that X person has been a purchaser of stolen property, the connections would come out. So we are doing that right now. All I want to emphasize is that a little bit of effort from our side, and Rajasthan police has done wonders in certain areas with some help of IT. We are really looking forward to CCTNS to come. We keep looking for the versions. Now alpha has come or beta has come. And once the whole application would be there, I'm sure in another couple of years, a lot of things would reach a stage where it will not be a fairy tale, where we catch people sitting on computers. Thank you very much.